You know, it's amazing because I've had the experience of talking to different artists in different sectors. And, you know, they always talk about purpose over validation.
Yeah.
Like, what is your purpose? Why are you doing this? And some people may think that the purpose may be driven by by money.
Yeah.
But that's not really it, right?
Yes. No, not at all. No, that's not really what, I mean, it's important because you need money to keep these things alive,
to be able to create.
Yes. But in the end, when we create a design, sometimes, you know, I begin to think that it's so expensive to make this. Like, would someone buy it? But I believe if you really make something beautiful and you make it with all your heart and you pour everything into it, that somebody will love it and will treasure that for generations to come.
Hello, amigas. Welcome back to our favorite hangout spot, our home this season, here at the beautiful Kenneth Cobonpue BGC showroom, the official home of the Amigas podcast for the season 2. And today's conversation, it's one of those that stays with you, because let me ask you something. Don't we all want to leave something behind that we're truly proud of? Something that goes beyond time, beyond titles, beyond the things we can touch or show off? Our guest today didn't chase attention. He didn't build anything for applause. He simply chose to create with purpose and show up with consistency. And because of that, what he built quietly made its way across the world, into homes, into spaces, into places that tell stories without saying a single word. His work has found its way in some of the most beautiful homes, luxury spaces, and iconic places around the world, proving that what's made with heart will always stand out. But beyond the design, he's a creator of opportunities, a champion of artisans, and a reminder that success doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Please, let's warm welcome to our Amigas podcast, Kenneth Cobonpue. Hello, Kenneth.
Hello, Priscilla. Thank you so
Sorry
much.
for the very long introduction. I wanted to add more because you're truly remarkable.
Okay.
And I just want to, let out there how much I admire you and how much I admire your work. How proud I am, even though I'm not Filipina, but I'm Filipina by heart, when I see the name Kenneth Cobonpue all around and people like having those pieces that enhance their homes and make them feel special.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. You're only amigo.
Amigo, the
in
only
our
amigo. So of course, guys, Kenneth is actually our very, very special guest for the whole season. We've been having ladies, but he's the only gentleman to grace this 10th season is special of our season 2 of Amigas podcast. Yeah. And I couldn't do it differently, Kenneth, because, we're talking about legacy and what it embodies. And I think your work, your story, really it speaks loudly about it. Was it always like that? Like, how did you, because sometimes people, they just see the final product.
Yeah.
But they don't really know how it all started.
Yes.
What it take to get there.
Yes.
Can you just share a little bit of how it all started? Are you a designer by profession?
Yes, I'm a designer by profession, but it didn't start out that way. My mother was a furniture designer who made these very unique pieces actually for her time. And everybody in Cebu was making furniture. There were about 300 companies. We were all making furniture for many big brands out there. And so they would take a design and then they would label it as theirs, right? It's always, you were just a manufacturer. Uh-huh. I saw how my mother suffered because she created all these beautiful designs that went under different names abroad. Nobody really cared to say it came from her. And I saw that this wasn't right. Mm-hmm. But that was the way the world works. You were just a manufacturer and you sold to a company who just labeled it according to. So her designs had different names in different countries. So took up design. I didn't know how to draw. Right?
Okay.
So when I applied for a design. I
So that
failed.
was the first course that you applied for, or you come from the
Yes, I really wanted to take up design.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed making things as a child. And to me, design is really like being a child forever. So I wanted to be a child forever, to make other
Nice.
people happy with the things that I made. But I couldn't draw. So when I applied to school, I failed in the entrance examination
Oh.
here at UP.
The
So
drawing
this
took
was, yes, it was a very big, this was very humbling for me. So I took off a year just to
Okay.
learn how to draw. And then I went to school in New York, and then I got back. My mother already had a furniture factory and started to make designs, right? And then I felt that these designs kind of different, right? So I said,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to create a brand, right? Which
Okay.
was really unheard of that time. Even today, there are only very few brands from our part of the world. So I labeled each furniture as made in the Philippines and under my name. And so
Nice.
it went to different places, and they started to do the same. They ripped off the labels, they put their own names on it. It was always different, And so I said, no. I said, you're not going to do that. If you're going to do that, then don't sell my furniture.
Yes.
So for a time, nobody wanted to buy from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the factory floors were empty. My mother was telling me, "No, what in the world are you doing?"
Yeah.
Our skilled workers were just sweeping the floors. There was really no work.
Okay.
So I started to get a different set of clientele. One, people who did not normally buy from the Philippines but only bought European products.
Okay.
These were my first
Clients?
distributors, my clients. And so they treated me with respect as a designer. And so gradually the name became known. Kenneth Cobonpue became a brand, but it was really uphill. It was an uphill climb. Today, many people now want the brand, right? It's a different story, but. And also, so now I speak about branding, not only here in the Philippines, but also around. In fact, I just came from Indonesia to talk about the power of branding for Southeast Asian brands.
So basically, were you like the pioneer of Filipino flag in furniture?
I'd say that the first person who really did it was Buji,
Okay.
who is a mentor. Buji did it in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I can say that I'm probably the second one, and probably, of course, bigger, right? In terms of, I think, across all industries, there are
Yes.
very, very few Filipino brands in the luxury market. I think that, I would say
You're
I'm
very
a
humble,
pioneer in that
Kenneth.
sense.
Very
I don't know how to say that, but
And usually that's, that's just really like genius people have that kind of quality. Nowadays, of course, everybody wants to have a Kenneth Cobonpue piece in their home.
Yes.
And they'll pay anything to have it. But is there a time during that journey that you you thought of quitting?
There was, because even till today,
Oh, really?
Sometimes, when I just came from Indonesia, from the fair, and things there can be really produced at a lower price because they have all the materials, the labor, everything. All the, they have the skills, they have government support, all these things. I look at it and it's like, why my job is it's really difficult and becomes more difficult every year.
Because the competition.
Yeah, because of the competition, because of, it's like...
Low cost in other places.
The low cost, yeah. And
So it's really
everything
hard
else.
to
So
have like a Filipino homemade.
It is, and that's why I can count only with the fingers of one hand, the number of Filipino really
That made it.
brands. I mean, there are a lot of Filipino brands, but none internationally, right? So when I exhibit in Milan or everywhere, I'm the only Filipino and sometimes the only Southeast Asian
That's
in
there.
these, there.
How did your family, that's part of your family, and perhaps even friends, played as you went through that journey of maybe question yourself, am I doing the right thing? Should I just change profession? Is this a dream that's possible or not?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what you said about legacy. What's important. There are other industries that would probably bring more money, without so much work. This is really, design is painful. It's like giving birth to a child.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. There's a birth pains that come with it. A typical design, takes about a year to make, and then sometimes it doesn't make it. So you have to just stop it and then start on a new one. And every year it gets be more difficult because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of good designers also around the world. And so that legacy is very important. That in the end, what's important is not the number of awards or the money you make. It's the inspiration that you give to the next generation of young people, to people who look at are inspired by their culture, by the craft, by the resources around them, that they make something beautiful, and then you share your culture for the whole world. I think that's the legacy.
That's
part.
the legacy.
Yes.
It's amazing because I've had the experience of talking to different artists in different sectors. And, they always talk about purpose over validation.
Yeah.
Like, what is your purpose? Why are you doing this? And some people may think that the purpose may be driven by by money.
Yeah.
But that's not really it, right?
Yes. No, not at all. No. That's not really what, it's important because you need money to keep these things alive,
be able
right?
to create.
Yes. But in the end, when we create a design, sometimes, I begin to think that it's so expensive to make this. Like, would someone buy it? But I believe if you really make something beautiful and you make it with all your heart and you pour everything into it, that somebody will share, that will love it and will treasure that for generations to come.
Yeah, being original, how hard is it to be original compared to just following trends?
Yeah. Of course, it's easier to follow a trend, right? It's already all there. It's tried and tested. And it's important, I think, to know that's always part of my DNA, to always try to be original, to be different in the world of design. And not only here, globally.
Globally.
Yeah, globally. And so that makes it even more difficult.
Like, what was the very first piece of furniture that you said, okay, this can make big?
It's a design of mine. It's called Yin and Yang. That was my first.
The Yin
yeah, it's a very boxy design I did in 1997. That was the first really kind of a very different furniture. And then
And that's the one you said, okay, this need to make it, it will make it.
Yes. But even this bloom, right? That's
a classic.
It's a classic now. But when I first made that, it was almost impossible because the Philippines is not a country that is known for producing upholstered furniture. It's always something like this here, something that's woven.
Yeah.
Something that's woven,
Yes.
And this was something that the Europeans did, or the Chinese did. And so I had to make a design that was very unique and kind of difficult also to make.
To justify.
Right? To justify it, yeah. And a very original design. So now it's become a classic.
Yeah,
and, it's in a lot of homes all around the world.
Yes, it's beautiful. And I'm saving to have one in mind. But, when it comes to designs, like what exactly inspires you? Do you go back to the origins or like different seasons, different inspirations?
Yeah, I think you're inspired by everything from your childhood, from the travels, from the things you grew up with. And you can see it in the designs too. It's a flower, it's a balloon, it's little people, it's fantasy, right? So when you design, you become like a child once again. And hopefully the people who use your designs will also have that same feeling of going back into their childhood, or that's why I guess the bloom is successful, because a flower is beautiful in any language, in any culture.
Is there one thing that you kept, maybe like a secret that people may not know in all your designs that brings you back to your roots, like from Cebu? Is there like one thing, or no, you change it every time?
No, there's not one thing that's because
but can we see like your background, like somehow maybe not like upfront, but somehow like
yes, I know what you mean. It's called the DNA, right?
Yes,
there's something
exactly,
that's
the
in
DNA.
in every design. No, and that's one thing which I think that I never really did, because that would be too limiting. I know it's like in fashion, like a Bottega Veneta bag always has that woven leather. That's their DNA, right? I chose to try to be different with every design. So it's always unique, but they all share, I think, that playfulness, that whimsical, there's that fantasy that you have when you buy a Kenneth Cobonpue design.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think that, when I look at your furnitures, one thing that I see is that I don't know, I just can envision them in any part of my home.
Ah.
When I look at it, it's like,
Yeah.
it will fit in this corner, and if it fit in that corner, you know? So do you really think thoroughly,
Yes.
like how to incorporate in a home, make it feel, and it feels homey, huh?
Yes, yes.
It doesn't feel, even if it's modern, it still feel homey.
Yes, I do. Because it's important when you design to always remember that they're not really divas, right? They have to
Yes.
also live with the rest of the
Within-
furniture
yes.
that person may have. So they have to be different, but they also have to, you know, blend in with the rest of interiors.
So you have like your showroom right in Cebu.
Yes.
So every craftsman, like every person that somehow it's involved in the fabrication of your designs, are they from Cebu? Are you that
Yes, they're all from Cebu. Yeah.
empowering
They're
the
all-
locals?
Yes, so
And is that like a program? Do you like envision to actually pass on the art of furniture
Yeah.
designing and, you know, home pieces?
yeah, so everything we do is really organic, meaning everything from the graphics, the marketing, the sales, the design, production, testing, everything is really all Filipino.
All Filipino. So
yes.
it's Filipino made
Yes,
with
it's
pride.
really Filipino made.
With
And
pride.
Yes. Yes. There are other brands who have factories here,
Mm-hmm.
but then their sales, their marketing, the whole campaign is conducted elsewhere, right? But we're really all from Cebu.
And in terms of like the quality, like your workers, are they trained
Yes.
to be like Kenneth Cobonpue, you know, like approved?
Yes. So they're trained, and we even sometimes bring them to the showroom.
Okay.
We pretend that they're clients.
Ah, okay.
So they because they have to live that. They have to understand that lifestyle, and they have to understand the person who's purchasing it. You know, wants the best.
Do you personally approve every piece, or you have a team behind
No, I have
you?
a team now. I can no longer do. I did that in the early days, but I can no longer do that.
So you,
Yeah.
you have a team
Yes, I have a team
that
Yeah,
will
does
handle
it. Yes,
a lot of the
that's all the
things.
quality, the day-to-day, the production, and everything.
But the designs, do they come personally from
The designs, yes, come from me, and then I have a team. I have a very small team for designs, and in fact, they're all young people. They're all
Oh, nice.
usually they're all fresh from school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have a lot of at any one time we have always interns. Usually they say we want to stay there for 6 months, but they end up staying for years. 2 years, 3 years. Yeah.
Have you ever have someone under you that actually got inspired and today have their own brand?
Yes, yeah. One of them is Nike. I don't know if you know Neil Philippe. He makes
Okay.
those bags.
Okay.
That was used in the movie Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Rich
yes.
Asians.
So he has his own brand.
Okay.
And he makes these beautiful clutches. Also very whimsical. I have 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Who are very successful. Who used to work with me.
If you could redefine like success, being on the position that you're right now, how would it be? Like, how would you think of it? Like, do you find yourself to be successful already, or is that something that you aim forward that you said, oh no, I'm not quite there yet?
No, yeah. I always look at the things that I still want to accomplish, and so in that sense, I don't think I'm there yet.
Not
right?
yet.
No, I think that before. Okay, so there's this exhibition called the Salone in Milano, and that's the most prestigious fair in the world. And your position in Salone is your position in the world.
Okay.
And so when I first joined that fair, it's very difficult to enter, right? To date, I'm the only Filipino there in that fair. And so we were always on the outer halls, And so gradually now,
You're moving inside.
I'm moving inside. I'm now with all the French and Italian brands
Amazing.
around me. So I'm the only Asian in the hall. So we're going, closer in. And so things like that, I still look at and say, I want to be there at the best hall. Still getting there.
I think it's very attainable.
Yeah,
when
I think
talent and passion, they come
Yes.
together.
Yes.
And you can focus and, really redirect all your energy to the right things and
Yes.
make sure that you take all the steps to get there.
Yes.
I think it's very, it's actually real.
Yeah, and there's many things also, I've been asked what are the deepest struggles. It's also because we really identify ourselves with being Filipino as a Filipino brand, you know. And well, let's face it, in the world, Philippines and luxury do not really go together, right?
Yes.
So when I'm in Europe, to many Europeans, a Filipino is a domestic, worker, is the person who cleans your room, and so there's that mentality that being Filipino is not really synonymous with luxury or making good, quality things, But I'm trying to really go against that and to prove that we are really second to no one when it comes to craftsmanship, to making things right.
Yes, I think it's amazing how Cebu, and through you, Cebu became so famous when it comes to quality.
Yeah.
Aside from the Cebu lechon. No, I mean, because nowadays, if you look at the scenario and when people refer, Pacquiao, where is Pacquiao from? Okay.
Yes.
Kenneth Cobonpue, Cebu, so it's natural that people will automatically link, right?
Yeah.
And use you as a reference for quality. Because I do remember going shopping, and I do remember maybe around 15 years ago, me and my ex-partner, we bought, some lamps, some chandeliers from you. And then I do remember saying, oh, my dream was to get a Kenneth Cobonpue, light accent.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't know what that meant because I was fairly new in the country. But when I saw the light, I said, wow, I didn't know that that's possible.
Yeah.
And it amazed me. And from that point on, I'm like, okay, what else can I add? I can afford to add to my home that's from Kenneth Cobonpue.
Yeah.
And I do remember, Kenneth, that, one of the things that he said, that lamp of yours, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have also in their home. So, those kind of reference. So when it comes to quality, regardless what nationality you're coming from.
Yes.
You can really spot what is good, period.
Yes, that's right.
How much of that quality standards do you kind of incorporate in your business, coming from the background where your mom is actually a designer herself?
Yeah.
And how much of family business this business is? How did you stay rooted with that kind of mentality and heart?
Because it started with my mother, and I was very inspired by her, by the things she did. So it really basically is it just passed on from her to me. And we still do everything. It's still a very small team. I wouldn't say it's a very big facility. So we really try to control the quality, which is not very easy, because when you make a new design, it always comes with a new set of difficulties, of requirements of making things, and every design is kind of new. Now, I wish it were as easy as you said. When you're making one DNA, you're just making one kind of thing, and you keep on making variations of that. But it's not. So that's why it's very important. The quality has to be very.
And how much mom is still involved in the business? Is she?
No more. She's not involved anymore.
So she's just enjoying the furniture.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
And let you just literally. So Kenneth Cobonpue is 100% belongs to Kenneth.
Yes, that's right.
And then all the designs and everything.
Yes. When I speak, I'm always asked how come ordinary people can't afford your furniture, or the things you do. So I came up with another brand called K Curated.
Oh, nice.
With things that are, I guess, more reachable, right? For people whom they want to give us gifts.
Yes.
And it still has that Kenneth Cobonpue DNA. It's available online and in Rustans.
Nice. Actually, guys, you can see we have some, pre-curated items, including my cafe. My coffee mug.
Yes. Yeah, and that's from Fable, the cafe.
That's from Fable Cafe. Yeah. If you need to check it out, Fable Cafe is also one of Kenneth Cobonpue's business. And the food is amazing. And we're always there eating. Anyways. But I just wonder, Kenneth, coming from the struggles and doubting yourself at a certain point and getting to a point where you know what you stand for and you're a house name brand internationally. If you would summarize that the journey throughout your business, what do you take from it? Makes you actually still feel that you're not there yet.
Yeah, so I'm asked this question a lot, right? What's your advice to younger designers? I think it's really to try to search for your place in the world. And by that, I mean to create, and it's not easy, of course, but to create a design that's kind of a different. It can be different in a way that it looks, or the way it's manufactured, or maybe it can be even the price point. It's different, but you have to find the reason for being, okay, the reason for your existence. Like why? So I always ask my students, like, why would somebody buy that from you? You know, why? What makes it different from what's out there? And if you can answer that very well, then you have something. My designs, I didn't have a name. I didn't have, and when you were saying that you saw that, you didn't know me, and you saw the design and you were attracted by it, I think that's the best compliment that I can get, that you didn't buy it because of the name, but because you like the design. And it should be that way.
Getting there.
Yeah.
What can you say? In what point you feel that, okay, I made it? Because earlier you were saying that, there's still a lot of things that you want to accomplish. You still feel that you're not there yet. So what will make you think that you made it?
And that's a difficult, I don't think there's ever at one point where I say that I made it. There's this, and I think that's the journey of every person. There's this little wins, but they don't necessarily sum up to say that you made it, but they're just little, I think there's this little, victories, and maybe like this weekend, right? I was invited to go speak to Indonesia. Now, Indonesia has a furniture industry that's much bigger than ours, like 10 times, right? And so this man who was telling me, he says, you know what? He says, we have more factories than you in the Philippines. We have more people. We sell more to the whole world. We have all this. We have so many designers here, but we don't have a Kenneth Cobonpue. And that's what the Philippines has, And so things like this, it's a little win, And when you say, can I say now that I made it by that statement? Maybe. It's one of the many vindications, I suppose, right? And it can be, sometimes, I recounted this story also. I received a letter before from an OFW. And she was working in Tel Aviv, and she wrote a letter, and she said, and she put clippings of me in their newspaper, and she said, sir, she said, you don't know me, but I'm so happy that because I showed this to my employer, because he thinks that all Filipinos are just
workers,
domestics, and I showed them, no, here's a Filipino who made something different, and so that was very inspiring, and that was also a win for me. So you have all these little things that is, I guess, more important than the total, than the sum of everything you are.
Yeah, I think when people can recognize a name even without knowing the face, or they can recognize as a design, or they even without realizing where it comes from, but they can see that that's quality, and that speaks volumes in terms of it transcends time and space. I think that's when you know that you made it. That your legacy is really a living proof of your work.
Yes.
And that goes beyond of any awards. But guys, he does have a lot of awards in the furniture business.
Yeah.
And if you could pick one that really resonates the most to you, because we were talking early and you're saying you never really apply for any award. So how did it happen that you have so many awards, as a designer? And if you can pick one that resonates the most to you, which one would that be?
So I think in the beginning, awards are important when you're starting out. I can't deny that they helped also in the beginning. I guess
validation.
It's validation. I'm at a point where maybe I don't have to prove anything anymore to anyone. But in the beginning, they are important. But I think more to me, the greatest validation was when I was a design student. I used to read about this very famous designers in the books, And finally, I met them, and some of them have flown even to Cebu to learn from me. Can you imagine that? And that I think was greater, but better than any award. That was the best validation to have somebody. So remember, as a student, you read about, you admire so much, and then they come and they said, "Hey, I'm coming over because I want to learn something from you."
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I think that's transcend any award.
Yes,
that's a living
definitely.
proof of that what you're doing, you're in the right track. Beyond that.
It's different,
It's very different. Is there someone that you look up to?
Well, I really admire my mother. You know, my mother was from her, I learned the value of being passionate about what you do, the original, to being original, of being different, because back then there was so much money to be made by making reproductions of furniture. The commercial,
Yes.
trendy, and she decided to do something that was very risky by making her own designs. And there was a risk that it would sell, it would not sell, and so that's a legacy that I'm continuing today.
And how do you deal? Because I know for a fact, some of your most important pieces, somehow they get to be copied.
Yes, of course.
And I'm pretty sure that's painful.
Yes,
like creating something and find out that other people are copying it and making money through your work and your hard sweat and tears. How do you deal with that? How do you try to prevent or at least fight back when terms is stealing the identity and the brand Kenneth Cobonpue?
Yes. So in the beginning, I'm always at the forefront of intellectual protection, and I was on TV. I was burning furniture. I was I was going really after them with my lawyers, and we still do today. I'm still really actively pursuing them, not only here but in other countries. In other countries too. We get a lot of interns, right? And interns tell me, when we were in school, part of our project was to design something that was inspired by you. And that was their design. That was their project. They didn't. Of course, they didn't mean to really
copy
it, right?
Yeah.
But I guess that's what I'm really doing. It's like when you do something nice, then you add to the vocabulary of Filipino design, of what Filipino design is.
Do you feel a little bit like proud that they're actually copying you?
No, not really. I wish that they would make something better.
Because nobody copies someone that didn't make it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody copies someone that's not relevant.
Yes.
People
correct.
copied the people that they admire the most, someone that they want to become.
Yeah. I think it comes with it. It comes with the territories.
But I think like design, it's one of the most difficult. Being a design is one of the most difficult professions because you need always to be creating something new and surpassing your last creation.
Right.
Your competition is not other people, but yourself.
That's right.
How do you actually empower you to always become better and better?
I think I'm always trying to outdo myself, to always try to make something that's different, and so many times I get designers also who submit designs and say, I've seen that, I've seen almost everything, right? Because since I was a young boy, I was going all around to all the exhibitions around the world, and I have a very good understanding of the design industry, what's been done, what's out there. It is a struggle. It is a struggle, and that's why I guess there are very few designers, who truly make very, very original and beautiful things in the Philippines.
And Kenneth Cobonpue is one of them, not only in the Philippines, around the world.
And I hope to inspire more people, more designers to come after, to make their own designs, to make more brands for the Philippines, and to keep on adding to that vocabulary of design, not only in furniture but also in fashion, even in food.
And how does Kenneth Cobonpue empowers the communities?
One of the problems that we really have is our crafts are dying. That the average age of our craftsmen is like 50 or 60. The weavers, and then it's always their dream that their children go to college and work in offices and don't work with their hands anymore, right? It is the responsibility of designers to try to create businesses that can keep these craftsmen
alive.
Alive, and that they can earn a good living from it. To work with your hands is
something be proud of,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, because it's always a notion, right, that to work to labor with your hands and sweat, it's not dignified. And so what we're doing is actually preservation also of craft, of design, of craft, of part of our tradition, our heritage.
How much Kenneth Cobonpue's designs are environment, pushing forward?
Of course, we do the usual things, right? Otherwise, we would not be able to sell abroad if we don't have the licenses for wood and for fabric, that they're sustainable and all that. But beyond that, I think what we try to make are things that people will treasure for generations. And I think that's what makes it sustainable. You don't throw it away. Right? If you buy some furniture from Shopee, or
Yeah.
after two years, it's
Gone,
cheap.
not
It's
even.
gone, right?
Let's put 3 months.
But probably because you paid a lot
Yeah.
for this chair, and you will keep it.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the best form of sustainability there is.
Pieces that speak, they're like ageless.
Right.
And they can fit just any corner and any mainstream of your home.
Right.
And feel like they're never outdated.
That's right. And they live forever,
They
beyond
live
you.
forever. Like, if you could give a piece of advice to young designers out there, they're like grinding and really like having a difficult time making a name for themselves, and coming from a place where you once also thought that you're not gonna make it, what would you tell them to encourage them to, keeping pushing forward?
I think at first you have to really learn your craft well, whatever it is. You have to be good at it, right? If you're in fashion, then you have to learn to sew well, to do. And basically, I always say you have to find your place in the world, in your industry. And you have to make something that's unique, that there's a reason. Because when you have a brand, if you want to be big, a brand is a story, and your story has to be unique in the world, right? And that's by every product that you make, it tells your story over and over again. So the question is always, what's your story? It's very difficult for young designers, of course, to ask that. But I always tell them, try to create something that's different.
Unique,
Something that's unique, that we've never seen before.
No, that's a great
and it's not always
Easy.
Not easy.
Not easy. But if your life is already someone else's inspiration, what would you do differently starting today?
I think it's probably to spend more time with my family. Yeah, and it's really true. When other people say that when you become maybe successful, that you, of course, other areas of your life are kind of left behind, and probably
They can
that
suffer.
too. Yeah, they suffer, and that's always, I think, when you talk to not only creative people but successful people, when you try to build so it's always, you have to find that right balance. Yeah.
How would you want the people closest to you to remember you by, aside from Kenneth Cobonpue, the international well-known design?
I think it's the inspiration that probably I gave to people, that from this corner of the world, I was able to create something that the world can enjoy and can see, the world appreciates. And from this, using our resources, our people, our talents, and our culture too, that I was able to create something, and make a difference in the world of design. And I hope to inspire generations of younger designers to follow and create something even better than what I started.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you're doing that, Kenneth, already. And it's very heartwarming to see, when I see the name Kenneth Cobonpue all around the world with the beautiful furniture pieces, and people that acquire those furniture pieces, they're proud of acquiring it because, it somehow means that you made it also because you can afford them. But don't worry, guys. Kenneth Cobonpue has the curated.
That's right.
It's
That's
more
right.
affordable for all entry levels of society. But Kenneth, we're talking about your journey. We're talking about design and bringing the name of the Philippines abroad to make it a house name when it comes to just the international scene in general, and how Kenneth Cobonpue, the brand and the person, inspires so many Filipinos and make Filipinos proud and Filipinos of heart proud. If you can define legacy, how would you define that? Being today in the position that you are.
I think it's that, did I make an impact in the world of design, where I come from? Did I inspire people to create their own stories, to create their own designs, to make something different? And so I've done that also. I've taught in 2 different schools, both in Cebu and Manila before. And I train a lot of young designers, young interns, continually doing that in the hope that one of them or a few of them would follow and make their own stories.
That's amazing. I think that you've done it. You've done it, and yeah, you did inspire a lot of people. And I'm inspired by your creativity. I'm always in awe when it comes to Kenneth's showroom here at the heart of BGC. You have many showrooms. This is not the only one, right? Please do tell our amigas where they can find their beautiful furniture pieces.
Well, this is the flagship showroom, of course, here in Philippines. We have also one in Cebu. We have a couple around the world, and we're represented also by many showrooms, different showrooms all around the world. But thank you again, Priscilla, for making this showroom your home. You know, you always have a home here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was looking at the podcast and I saw how it's so you, right?
Thank you.
Because also being Brazilian, you know. We share actually the same culture.
Yeah, we share the same culture. And whenever I come here, guys, to the showroom, I'm always so amazed with the pieces. And it's like, okay, I think that one fits in my home. That also fits in my home. That, okay, what is my budget again? I need to ask for discount from Kenneth. But, you know, it's just that your pieces are really unique. They're so unique. They have so much personality. And they're so, like, ageless.
Yeah.
You know, and genderless. Because I've seen men buying flowered stuff that I didn't think that they would. Like even my ex-partners, like buying this flower or something, and I'm like, oh, I understand me picking that piece, but he's a guy.
Yeah.
See, so I think in terms of, you know, when a design is so innovative and so special and ageless, it doesn't really matter what your gender is. Appreciation for beauty and amazing design always follow and go beyond anything.
Yes, that's right.
Kenneth, thank you so very much for inspiring so many people out there, for inspiring me, for welcome us in our Amigas podcast in your home.
No, thank
and
you too.
You know, I'm looking forward to see more of your amazing designs, and I'm literally saving to buy Phil. Literally saving. Is there anything else that you want to tell our amigas out there?
No, thank you. Thank you so much again, Priscilla. I'd like to invite, you know, everybody to come to the showroom.
Yes.
Come and have coffee at the Fable.
Exactly.
And you don't have to buy anything. You can appreciate. It's just.
But you want to buy something for sure.
Yeah. I hope this place is an inspiration to many designers, and so you can understand and see the things that we've talked about.
Yes, it is indeed. And guys, you can come here at the Kenneth Cobonpue showroom at the heart of BGC. And beside, I have Fable Cafe, which has amazing food. And I didn't notice from time to time you change the interior decoration.
Yes.
And it's really, really like, it feels like you're in a really fable, you know, like something like out of a book.
That's right.
Yes, but then thank you so much, Kenneth.
Yeah.
And I really look forward to see more of your designs in the future.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Okay, amigas, one day the world will move on. The noise will fade, the titles, the milestones, the things we once thought matter so much, and they won't stay the same. But what will? Is how you love people, how you showed up, even on the days that you had nothing left to give. How you held people together while quietly learning how to hold yourself. They'll remember your softness in a world that tried to harden you, your courage in moments no one ever saw, the way you kept choosing to rise even when life asked you to break. And that, amigas, that is legacy. Not loud, not perfect, but deeply, undeniably real. So build it with intention, build it with love, build it in a way that feels true to you, even if no one else understands it yet. Build it in a way that honors the women you used to be, the one who prayed for the life you're living now. And maybe one day, someone will sit across from you or speak your name and say, because of her, I found my strength. I learned to choose myself. Because of her, I finally understood what love is supposed to feel like. And in that moment, it won't matter how much you had or how perfect it all looked. What will matter is that you lived, you loved, you tried, you became. And that kind of legacy, amiga, it isn't and it doesn't just get remembered. It lives on in hearts, in lives, in quiet moments you'll never, ever even witness. Because a life well lived isn't measured by what you collected, but by what you gave, by who you lifted, by who you became in the process. So as you close today, as we close this season, take this with you. You don't have to be extraordinary to leave a legacy. You just have to be intentional, honest, brave enough to live a life that feels true to you. Because long after this moment, long after this voice fades, your story will keep speaking in the lives you've touched, in the love you've seen, in the courage you would pass on. And that kind of legacy, it doesn't ask for attention. It earns its place in the hearts that carry it forward. And that, amigas, is how we become unforgettable. Just like Kenneth Cobonpue. Okay, so thank you for being here today, amigas. Thank you for walking this journey with me, for listening with an open heart, and for showing up for yourself along the way. Keep choosing love, keep choosing growth, keep becoming the women and the woman you're proud to be. Remember, life isn't a destination, it's a journey full of lessons, surprises, and moments that shape who you are. I can't wait to continue this journey with you on season 3 of the Amigas podcast. But for now, I'm gonna say my farewell and thank you so much for joining me always here at our favorite hangout spot, the Kenneth Cobonpue BGC showroom here at the heart of BGC. See you guys next season. Love you guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.